have established. Now I'll give the word to our second speaker, Mr. Sannan, who is the international coordinator of the Tamil Solidarity. This is the other view of the question.
Thank you, Chairman. And
again, 8 to 10 minutes at the most.
Thank you, Chairman, the members of the committee and the members of Parliament. The current situation in Sri Lanka can only be described as a modern Holocaust. You can see a worse kind of persecution, ethnic cleansing, torture and murder. And I'll give you a few examples. It is the United Nations estimation that the current government killed 7,000 civilians in the last few months of the war. Over 10,000 been wounded. Still more than 100,000 held in detention camps, described as one of the worst in the world by the UN. Access to these camps for independent journalists still restricted. Those who are allowed to visit are government-supporting journalists or those are escorted by the military personnel. The medical facility is so poor, those who are released after 6 months of detention found to have pieces of shells in their body. Tamil Solidarity Campaign, for which I am an international coordinator, is a regular touch with the people in Sri Lanka, as I am originally from Jaffna itself, that I am able to talk to some people. And from the information we have, the camps had not a single independent visitors. Independent journalists, activists are not allowed in. From these barbed wire military guard camps, people could not leave to freely talk about their horrific experience. Even those released were still in transit centers, one similar to the camps they left. Even these, those resettled are tightly monitored by the military and given special ID cards that differentiate them from the rest of the population. It's another form of intimidation. In effect, North is turning into a kind of an open prison for Tamil-speaking minority. International Crisis Group, chaired by former European Commissioner for External Relations, Christopher Patten, had published an intensive report detailing hypocrisy of government claim, that so-called rehabilitation program and the downward turns. More than 13,000 young people are kept in special detention centers. What happens in these camps is not revealed by the government. There is no record whatsoever. There is no names of the people held in these camps. The government Minister for Science and Technology, Tisavidana, during his visit to London, openly, personally admitted that as young as 8-year-old, I repeat, 8-year-old, is kept in these torture camps. UN also confirmed the authenticity of the video clips published recently. These clips showed a brutal execution of the defenseless, abused prisoners. Channel 4 in Britain could not show the trophy videos of Tamil women killed, stripped naked, and filmed when their bodies are paraded. So those refugees managed to escape the country have given also the eyewitness reports of torture, rape in the camps. There is a widespread abduction, forced disappearances, and illegal detentions. There is a routine police abuse throughout the country, as we can see in one of the incidents in Colombo, where one person was chased into the sea and killed. The violent attacks against the political opponents and physical attacks and death threats against the journalists become common phenomenon. Journalist Thisanayagam was jailed for 20 years for writing just 2 articles. He is now on bail as part of the election stunt. I salute those heroic activist journalists who have raised opposition to the government brutality, such as Lasanda Vikramadunga, who is being murdered, believed to be by the government forces. That is a very, very real threat that all opponents of the government face. I gather that many journalists and activists turned down the invitation to come to this committee hearing in fear of their life. I'm able to come because I'm in exile. If I'm living in Jaffna, I'm sure that I will decline to come here as well. Another presidential candidate, Suridunga Jayasuriya, a long-standing defender of the right of the Tamil-speaking minority in the country, stated that the current election campaign is the most violent in the history. Already one opposition activist shot dead. It is completely wrong to suggest that, that the Tamil Solidarity calling for boycott of the election. But we are saying that both candidates, the Rajapaksa and Fonseca, offer no real alternative to the people of Sri Lanka. But the people like Sridunga Jayasuriya, for example, and they have a clear-cut program about how to bring about better situation for the poor people. The Transparency International Sri Lanka published a report of how the current government is misusing its power to get them elected again. Some in this committee may say that the Sri Lankan government is acting against terrorism. Me and others in the Tamil society are opposed to terrorism. We do not agree with the methods of the Tigers. In fact, we criticize, we have condemned their actions, the undemocratic action in the past, and so on. But nothing is comparable to the terrorism of the Sri Lankan state. It's their pogroms against the Tamil-speaking minority that led to the developments of the militancy that we must remember. The Sri Lankan state would not have achieved victory at the same time also without the aid of the China, Iran, India and Pakistan. It is the weapons supplied from the outside is used in the killings of thousands of innocent people. All these countries also aided the Sri Lankan government in indiscriminate bombings and killings and torture has blood in their hands. So no help should be given to Sri Lankan government as it will continue to be used to attack democratic rights and continue to violate human rights. The government is totally corrupt and capable of immense attacks on the workers and poor. That is why it is correct to withdraw the GSP+. It should be withdrawn. Sri Lanka is the most militarized country in the region. There are a number of reports published regarding how the Sri Lanka is topping all the list in the human rights abuse in the world, and certainly the most the human rights abuser in the region. GSP Plus or any other help to this government will be an assistant to gross atrocities going on in that country. GSP Plus given after the tsunami is not benefited the victims. Workers who lost particularly in the textile sectors who lost the jobs after the tsunami has not given any aid at all. They are living in utter dire poverty and are still waiting to be assisted in their resettlement. The government no serious effort whatsoever to resettle them, despite the large amount of money in aid and tax concessions made available, majority of which is gone to the pockets of Rajapaksa dynasty, the current president and their families and friends, to attack the democratic rights of the people. And the Rajapaksa family is said to be the richest in the region as well. All the aid particularly after the war, all the aid and concession will be used, as you can see, is to harm the people even more. Withdrawing GSP Plus can give a clear signal to the government, but it's too little too late in our belief that there should be a resolution of condemnation. Any aid or trade through Sri Lankan government must be boycotted. All aid should be directed directly to the victims and poor through elected committees from the people. It's not just the Tamil, but the large number of Sinhala Muslims and other communities also angry how the government is continued to curtail democratic rights and continue to violate human rights. No political solution is proposed by the government. Atrocities of the Sri Lankan government will continue regardless who wins in the next election, next coming election. So we can see both of them, Fonseca and Rajapaksa, were accused of human rights violations, face war crimes by the UN. And Tamil-speaking people's right of self-determination and democratic rights will continue to be denied. And it is very serious questions. I hope the committee considers its decisions carefully with the people in mind, with the large number of 250,000 people, significant number put in detention centres. In terms of percentage, it's majority of the Tamil-speaking minority in the country. So this is a horrific treatment of this government of its own people. So I hope the committee considers very carefully.